Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world, whichever part of the world you are. I greet you and I say Assalamu alaikum to you. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I've come again today to give an interpretation and an explanation of this very, very beautiful name of Allah. The name of Allah from which every human being was given a heart, and that name of Allah, that one you see in the white characters, white big characters, that's a name which gives human beings life, which gives human beings the motion and the capabilities to be able to live. That name was laid in the creation of a human heart of a human being. And also, it's this very same name, this beautiful, most holy, scared name of Allah, that was used to assemble the brain of a human being. But I'm going to explain about the heart of a human being. Dear brothers and sisters, as you all know who have studied biology, you know that a human heart consists of 4 chambers. The 4 chambers are represented here in the illustrations of the picture, in the illustration in the name of Allah. I'll give an explanation about this name and why it was written like that. One of the first explanation is that is a signature of Allah, the signature of Allah, which He put in the human heart to prove and that He created human beings. His signature, the signature of Allah, is so holy that it gives life to human beings and other creations. All creations sustain life because of the glory and the mighty grace and majesty of Allah. His name, His signature here gives life to human beings. It's a name which is stored both in the brain of a human being and both in the heart of human beings. As you all know, who have studied biology, that the human heart consists of four chambers. As I explained last time, that if you can use the middle line, that middle line which runs from top to bottom, as a to separate the right section of the heart from the left section, and then if you use a vertical line from left to right to separate the upper section from the lower section of the name, you find that makes up 4 sections or 4 chambers. That makes up the 4 chambers of the human heart. The human heart is made up of 4 chambers, and as I said, if you look clearly, you can see that the upper part of the name of Allah is separate or is different from the lower part. The upper part represents the 2 chambers, the upper chambers of the human heart, and the lower part represent the 2 chambers of the heart of a human being. As I said, you can use the white, because we are talking of the name in the white characters, in the white big characters. That's the name of Allah, from which every human being was given life, or human beings are able to live because of that name or because of that signature of Allah. As I said, you can use the white line which runs from top to bottom as to separate the 2 sections of the heart, the left section to the right section, and then you can use a vertical line to separate the upper section from the lower section. Then that makes up the 4 chambers of the human heart. My people, my friends, my whoever listens or whoever watches these things, these are interpretations which have been kept from the understanding of human beings for a long time, and it's time to explain what Islam is to human beings, what the religion of Islam is to human beings. As I said to you, it's Allah who created each and every atom that is in existence. And it's from those atoms that Allah commanded and created what we call an embryo that becomes a human being. So that embryo testifies that when we are as a little as an egg, we are given two commandments which we follow that opens the door to this world. If you don't follow those two divine commandments, your doors to this world will not be opened, and you end up like any egg that when a woman goes into her period, that egg comes out of your body, it becomes out of your body wasted. But if you follow the divine directives which are given to the embryos, then or to the egg, then you succeed and you become, or you are created, and the doors of which bring you to this world earth are opened for you, and then you are given a chance to live as a human being. So when you are given a chance to live as a human being, Allah creates He creates you, and He signs His name in your heart. We will see His signature in your heart, which gives you life. That is what makes up a human heart. The name of Allah or the signature of Allah is what makes up a human heart, and it's the same name that gives human beings the intelligence, the intellectual level that is upper than animals, because in the brain of a human being, this name of Allah or this signature of Allah is also very, very present in the creation of a human brain. So when you are given a heart, Allah signs it and puts it, lays it down and signs it, and it becomes a heart that gives you life. And then the brain, which you use to reason and think and do this and that. But the brain, those who have studied biology or know that a brain consists of two front sections, the left and the right, but also it consists of other 4 to 5 other subsections, which are, as you can see, are divided here by in the name of Allah. You can see if you look at the white character, which is like a U, and then again a U, and then a, and then a last piece which doesn't, from right to left, the last piece which doesn't really show make up any letter. That last piece of the name of Allah or represents the section of the brain where it intercedes with the nervous system of a human being. So that's how this name of Allah, and these two where on the right or in the right section where you see a U and a U, those represents the forehead of a human being, or the forehead of the brain of a human being. Then all these sections or subsections of the brain have duties, have activities, have duties that they have to perform to give a human being the capability to be able to live a normal life. This because they work hand in hand with the heart of a human being. The brain work hand in hand with the heart. So those are both signatures of Allah, which are very present in the two major parts of a human body: the brain and the heart, or the head and the heart. If the heart is not in the human being, that human being cannot live. If the brain is not working, that human being cannot survive or cannot reason. So, my people, I'm explaining to you why you should reconsider your ways of living by allowing yourselves to follow and believe in the divine laws that He who created you laid down for your survival as a creation of human beings. You've got to change your ways and accept the reality, the truth, the real truth, which has no question about it, because anyone who can have a question of doubt and Google these details on Google and find out whether a brain has two sections, front sections and then subsections. And then if you work out a photo shape structure, you find that the brain is divided into the sections I've told you, 4 to 5 sections, and those sections are represented here by the signature of Allah, or the name of Allah, which is the upper section of this holy, most scared, beautiful name of Allah. In the lower section, we started with the heart. Again, this very beautiful name of Allah is the details of the heart. The chambers of the heart are represented by in the upper section, the upper chambers of the heart, the two upper chambers of the heart. On the right, you can see a letter which looks like a U that represents the details of the section of the right hand of the human heart, and the left hand, it looks like a represents the inner chamber, the inner details of the chamber of the left heart of a human heart. And then when you go to the lower section, you see that again the same section, the same details represent the inner chambers of the left section of the human heart. And then you go to the right, and then the same details represent the same details of the human chamber, the inner chambers of the human heart. As you can see in this section, in the lower section, you see that the white characters kind of protrude out of the large circle. Those represent the muscles from which the heart generates the continuous rotation, generates the power for a continuous rotation, whereby the heart does not stop or does not easily stop, but the heart keeps pumping because of the details that you can see on the left. It's a white kind of suspended character, and on the right again you see a black circle, and then it suspends to the right, and on the left it protrudes out as black, but then it suspends as white. So those are details. Again, in the lower section of the left hand, the details exhibit the services of these chambers. Each chamber has duties that it has to fulfill, or to be able to pump the blood in the human body without any difficult. Anyway, people, I'm not very good with English. The English is not my first language, so I find it sometimes a little bit hard to explain to you. But those who can observe and understand, and then it will help you to understand who you are as human beings, and stop living in a life of when you deviate from the truth of who created you, it's like an automatic suicide. You commit suicide. Your body Once you deviate from the truth or from He who created you, and you deviate from the divine laws that He governs the human body, your body succumbs to suicide. The human body can easily commit suicide and become useless to itself. So the body produces tumors, and those tumors become what you call cancer. So it's very, very difficult for you to understand the language of doctors. You go to the hospital when you have acquired cancer, and it's no longer curable, but it is curable or it's preventable if you follow the divine laws of He who created you. If you allow your heart to follow He who created you, because what gives blood to the system in your body is a signature of He who created all creations. Huh? If you allow your body to worship and glorify who He created you rightly, then your body will stop committing suicide by causing you to become ill of cancer. And that's all I can tell you about this beautiful name of Allah. It's the very name that makes up a human heart, and it's the very name that was assembled or used to assemble the brain of a human being. Many of you who have no knowledge about biology or anything like that, I'm interpreting these interpretations according to the name of Allah, not to biological studies. I'm interpreting these details according to the name of Allah or the signature of Allah, not to biological whatever that you people acquire and become, you call yourself doctors. Okay, that's all I can explain to you, my friends. That is the name of Allah, the most holy, glorified Almighty Allah, that He laid down and created a human heart, and it's the same name that Allah laid down to create a human